In this lesson, we solve a question on bar charts. Recall in our previous lesson, we learned how to represent a data, a given piece of data graphically using bar charts. So in this one, however, the bar chart is already drawn. We are to interpret data from the bar chart. So how can we do that? The question said the bar chart below shows the marks distribution in a mathematics test. How many students took part in the test? Find the pass mark if 95 students pass. How many students scored at most 40%? So how can we answer questions like this? Okay, the first one say how many students took part in the test? I don't know if this bar chart is clear enough for you to see. The first bar here ends at 50. The second one ends at 60. The third ends at 40. The next one ends at 20. The next 30. And then the last one, this should be 5. So let me put line to make it more visible. This is the end of this. 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 And then finally, the end of this. So to answer this question A, which says how many students took part in the test, we are going to add, remember, this is a frequency, which is the number of students, and then on the horizontal axis come the marks. Let me put it there, marks. So 26, how many people score 26? 50 people score 26. So 26, we have 50 people that score that. That is 50 plus 40. How many people score 40? 60 people score 40, 60 students rather score 40. Then how many score 60? 40 students. How many score 65? That is 20 students. How many score 70? 30 students. And finally, how many score 80? That is 5 students. So the total number of students that took part in the test, we obtain that by adding all of these numbers together. This plus this, that is 150, 170, 205. So 205 students took part in this test. Then the B part says find the pass mark if 95 students passed the test. How can we do that? To do that, we find um, a mark that corresponds to the cumulative frequency of 95. And we will do that from the highest mark. Why? Because we are looking for pass mark. Pass mark, definitely we have to start from the highest and then go down to know which of the mark is the pass mark. So for cumulative frequency, or starting from 80, how many students score 80 marks? 5. So 80 marks, let me put marks here, and then frequency, and then cumulative frequency. 80, 5 students scored that. The cumulative is still 5. Then 70, how many students scored 70? 30. And 30 plus 5 is 35. Remember, we are trying to arrive at a cumulative frequency of 95 because they say find the pass mark if 95 students pass. So once we get to 95, whatever mark give us that is the pass mark. So we are at 70 now. The next mark is 65. We are going down from the highest mark to the lowest. How many students score 65? 20. 20 students. And 20 plus 35 is 55. The next mark is 60. How many students score 60? 40 students. 40 students plus 55 is 95. And which value was that? Is this 40 or 50? Sorry, this is 50, not 40. You can see 40 here. 60, 65. It's like this is 50, not, I don't, I know. It's 50. It's a typo or the printing is very poor. This is 50, not 60. So 50. So since we got a cumulative frequency of 95, and the score that gave us that is, or the mass rather that gave us that is 50, it means therefore that the pass mark is 50. The pass mark is equal to 50%. Then the last question is, how many students score at most 40%? At most 40%. That is from 40 downward. So we start 26 marks. How many people score 26? 50 people. Plus how many people score 40? 60. 60 people. 50 plus 60 rather is 110. So 110 students score at most 40%. Now, if I reframe this question and I say, how many students scored at least instead of at most? At least will be from 40 upward. So don't mistake that. When it is at least, it means 40 or more, but at most means 40 below. Okay? That is how to answer a question like this.